Hello there, it's Jane, and in one of the previous videos I told you how to transfer your sketch to a watercolor paper and also discuss the importance of doing so. You can find the video in the description, but I also promised a video about erasing on a watercolor paper because we don't always have the equipment or time to transfer our sketches, but mainly we don't always have to. I personally transfer sketches a lot, especially if I'm working on an illustration that requires combining numerous elements into a nice composition. But there is time and place for working straight on a watercolor paper. For example, when you want to do a study or simply practice new approaches, then preparing and transferring your sketch will most likely hold you back, and sketching directly to a watercolor paper leads to more spontaneous results in less time. But the issue of damaging the paper with erasing still stands, and I have a couple of solutions that help me out with this. Solution lies in the way we sketch. You need to sketch gently and use thin lines with very little pressure. This depends on how light your hand is. Some people have serious troubles sketching lightly, and those often find it hard doing small and detailed works. They find joy in working larger, using, for example, sticks of graphite or charcoal. In this case, consider working on an easel and draw with the entire hand, and find one that can tilt easily, which is perfect for watercolor. But back to drawing lightly, this is the only way that you can either get rid of the mark easily with a gentle eraser, or you can leave the mark there and they won't show much through your watercolor washes. I personally enjoy seeing pencils through the watercolor sketch quite a lot, and a lot of artists do this on purpose. If you, however, intend to correct your lines and you happen to press too much, even a harder eraser won't be able to remove the marks. On top of that, watercolor pigments will just sit in the riffle and form even more noticeable effect. Okay, I rest my case on drawing lightly on most occasions, and the last tip lies in the kind of eraser that you use. I bought an insane amount and most of them were too strong or too dry, and using them took a real toll on my watercolor paper. But nowadays I have a few swear-by erasers that will do a good job even on a watercolor paper if you don't overdo it. First one is this dust-free eraser by Faber-Castell. It erases well and even stronger marks and doesn't leave dust lying around. This is my go-to for really getting rid of something. An alternative is this caramel fine art gum by Cretacolor. It is even more gentle but leaves plenty of dust, which I have to clean, and that gets annoying sometimes. Otherwise, it's a great eraser. For softening the lines or entire areas, you should have at least one kneaded eraser at hand. I really like this one by Faber-Castell. It doesn't dry, doesn't stick too much, and it has a lovely color. For being more precise when erasing, I use these two thin erasers. First one is by Kohinoor and it costs less than €1. It's so soft and I have about 10 of them at home and at the studio, always at hand. I didn't like this Tombow mono eraser much at first because it's more expensive than what you'd expect from an eraser, and Kohinoor is slightly softer, but I got used to carrying it around and it just comes in handy that I don't have to sharpen it like the Kohinoor pencil eraser. You can simply buy spare eraser sticks for it, and it is very practical. I hope this video helped you a bit, and the erasers that I mentioned are listed in the description as always. And I'll see you soon. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe because we're going to have a giveaway this week.